Coach Power Show is brought to you by Kentucky Land Company of Irvington. If you're looking for a little slice of heaven to plant your flag and call your own, give them a call at 270-547-4222 or check out their webpage at ky-land.com.
Hello, Green Wave Nation, and welcome back to what used to be the Coach Mofield Show. Now we have the Coach Power Show, so this will be the first ever edition of the Coach Power Show as we prepare for the 2025 Green Wave season that'll be kicking off next week. Welcome to the Coach Power Show, Coach Power.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I guess we'll kind of start off now that you've been here a little bit back home, got settled in. What's it like after, you played here, then you went off to college and played, then went in the military, coached college. What's it been like to come back home?
It's been amazing. Being around my kids more has been great. The community really taking them in, and all the teachers and principals helping them get assimilated has been just a great feeling as a dad. And just coming back home, I mean, we had our Thursday morning practice out there this morning on the game field, and there was fog out there, true Death Valley style, and it was kind of, the word that always comes to mind is just surreal being back home. I love our players. They're walking in the shoes I used to walk in, and it's just been amazing. Got back in early February, and in a few short months, really developing relationships with the guys, and just love our team, and really blessed and thankful to be home.
Yeah, and it also didn't hurt that when you came back from the fields and the facilities I played on in the 90s and what you played on, been a little bit of an upgrade too, hasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about down on the field. Death Valley got a big makeover several years ago.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and this unbelievable locker room and weight room that we're blessed to have. And I try to remind our players regularly how lucky they are compared to the dungeon we used to be in. It's one of the nicer facilities in the state, and then with the new indoor facility breaking ground here soon, that's going to be an unbelievable asset for the program and for all sports, and the band and everybody's going to be able to use that. And it's going to really help Meade County athletics and just the student body as a whole, and we're very blessed.
Yeah. I guess before we get into the X's and O's, I've always in the past with the seniors we interview kind of done some get to know you questions, and since this is first show, maybe we'll put you on the spot with a few of those. One of the first ones I always ask them is, if we jump in the truck, you turn it on the radio, what are we listening to? Type of music.
Depends on what we're doing. If we're about to play football, we're listening to heavy metal.
Yeah.
But if I'm just riding around, I've gotten back into country since I moved back home.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we grew up in the golden era of hip-hop, so.
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s hip-hop, regular rotation as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we get hungry while we're out riding around. We can pick anything, go eat. What would be your go-to?
I'm a big Miguel's guy. Like Miguel's. There's a couple spots I haven't hit yet that some of the players have told me about. I can't remember the names of them. There's like a street taco place I need to check out. I love street tacos. And then, for the most part, though, I got 5 kids, so I'm usually eating at home.
And we usually get into Saturday, day of relaxation, getting ready for the next week and watch some college football, which is going to be unique for you for the first time in several years that you have that opportunity. And usually what my go-to is are we cheering blue or red for the Cardinals or Kentucky? But with you, it probably throws in another, at least a third team in that's got to be considered. So who's going to be at the lead that you're cheering for on a Saturday?
I mean, the Hoosiers, but Louisville's probably always been my second favorite. a lot of my family went to school there, and I'm always rooting for Louisville. And Brahm's an unbelievable coach. I was really happy when he left Purdue, but it was good that he wasn't whooping up on the Indiana anymore at Purdue. But yeah, I'm always rooting for Louisville if I'm not cheering for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, I guess I won't hold that against you. But I guess we'll go on and get into it. The season's approaching quick. Next Friday's opening kickoff. Got 3 games on the road to kick off the season, but then a scrimmage Friday. Y'all had a scrimmage last week at Apollo. Where are you kind of at right now with the team as far as coming? First scrimmage is always just find out where you're at, get used to game speed. Coming out of that and going into the, tomorrow night, where are you kind of at with the team?
I was pleased with our scrimmage with the effort. And that's kind of what Meade County's always been known for. But, even at West Point, we would do inter-squad scrimmages. And that first scrimmage, you think you're going to have to hold a higher standard when it comes to playing to the whistle and effort, because they kind of get used to practice speed. And then when you go game speed, it's a little different. But I was pleased with our effort. I thought we really controlled the line of scrimmage, ran the ball really well, and which is who we need to be with our personnel. The biggest area for improvement, and I'm glad a lot of those mistakes happened against Apollo in that scrimmage, was our secondary, our pass defense. We did a good job stopping the run. We just had some, coverage issues that are all teachable moments and a lot to learn from in our secondary, because we faced a really good quarterback at Apollo who kind of picked us apart. And that was a big learning point from the scrimmage is we got some newer players. Devon Blackman's never played football, but he's a really good athlete and has a lot of athletic ability. He's just got to learn football. And so, I'm glad some of those mistakes happen because you learn from them. And then going into tomorrow night, we've got Barren County, who's a 6A team who went 10-3 last year, beat North Hardin in the playoffs, and they're big, physical, and they run the ball really well. So we've got our work cut out for us tomorrow in the run game, which is what they're kind of known for. They're a wing T team, and they just churn the ball down the field and try to wear you out. So we've got a completely different type of opponent coming in here tomorrow night than we had last Friday. But they will try to take shots. So our secondary, our big focus this week has been just alignment and assignment on defense, particularly our linebackers and secondary. And that's really been the focus all week. Where we're at as a team, though, we've covered a lot of ground since the dead period ended on July 9th. And we were kind of playing catch up because we got a brand new defense, brand new offense. Our offense coordinator really wasn't here for much of spring ball, got hired middle of spring ball, so everything was new. We didn't get that much in spring. And then our defense coordinator didn't get hired until after spring ball. And you can only do so much in June with the KHSAA limitations on the rules. So we've really covered a lot of ground since July 9th. We've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go. But I really like our senior class. I think our strength is in the box with running the ball and stopping the run. And we got a lot of inexperienced players at secondary and skill position wide receiver on offense. So, but a lot of those kids are got ability. It's just, that you don't really quite understand the level of varsity football, especially in 6A, till you get out there in game-like situations.
Yeah.
And so last week and this week will be huge. I love it that Kentucky allows you to have 2 full scrimmages so you can get some of those things ironed out. And that's really been the focus this week is our alignment and assignment on defense and trying to clean that up tomorrow night.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about the offense, kind of running is going to be the focus. What kind of offense package are kind of fans going to be looking towards, this season?
Well, we've got good running backs we got 4 seniors who can all carry the ball well. Wyatt Rainey is a coach's dream as a player. He's the hardest worker. He's the most football savvy. He's the kid that you have to tell to slow down a little bit sometimes in practice because he only knows one speed, and Wyatt's awesome. Cruz Redmond's back out, who's big and powerful and can run. And Braylon Pruitt is going to get some carries. Wesley Settle gets some carries, who's going to be a real good player, who's only going to be a sophomore, did some real good things in the scrimmage. And then Kentrell Mayfield's he took a year off football, but he is a very savvy football player who can play multiple positions. He's going to play slot receiver, fullback, running back, safety, corner. He's got a wrestling background, and Kentrell just really understands. He's just a smart football player. He understands leverage and positioning from wrestling, and Kentrell will do a lot for us. And so, what suits our offense is, in Meade County, you look at every good team historically is running the ball and controlling the game. And we're going to be downhill, really a pro-style type offense with a lot of under-center pro-style type packages. We got 2 good tight ends for the high school level with Duncan Rogers and Kyler Kleitz, who really have come on as of late and have a lot of ability. And, our strength is up front. We got 3 returning starters at center and left and right guard with Dylan Tucker, Jesse Bevan, and Backer Robinson. And then I like our tackles are athletic. Landon Williams is a good football player. Darian Pruitt will play some tackle. He's a talented sophomore. And then Abel Logston is big, strong, athletic kid who's only a sophomore who will play a lot on O-line. And then at quarterback, we've got Ethan Jolly's been doing a real good job. He's only a sophomore. And then we just recently got DJ, who transferred in from North Hardin, who's got a lot of ability. A great kid, big frame, and he can use his legs too, and he's got a strong arm, and he's really catching up and learning because he only got with us a couple weeks ago. And so I think our strength's going to be running the football and controlling the game like all the good Meade County teams in history. Will be pro style, run the football, and then now with DJ and as our receivers continue to develop some of the young guys, Ethan Jolly will play receiver and be a quarterback. Jaden Harris is a sophomore who's got a lot of ability. Grayson Hunter is a senior who's probably our most dynamic slot type receiver. And then Cannon Scott's going to be a good player, but he's only a sophomore, and he's really growing into his body. As they progress, we'll do some more shotgun and be able to open it up a little bit, but primarily we're gonna be a physical team that likes to run the football, like Meade County's always been.
Bringing the wishbone back. No belly.
No, I'd like to get to some of those concepts out of the gun. With us being kind of behind the power curve with a new offense, if you're going to go wishbone, it has to be every day, all day, your baby, and that's your identity because of how fast it is under center, the amount of ball exchanging that goes on. If you don't have time invested and really do that every single day, the ball is going to end up on the ground a lot, which loses games. So we really haven't had the time to fully invest in that under center, but I would like to get to some of those concepts out of the gun, which are less expensive and easier in terms of the amount of time you have to practice them, and some of those same concepts you can do out of the shotgun, and we've been experimenting with some of that. And so yeah, I know everyone thinks I'm gonna go under center wishbone coming from Army, but if you understand and watch a lot of football, if you watched us play at Army last year, we were far more conventional than people realize. I mean, we were running pro style type schemes. There were some games where we ran 0 option plays, but we had the ability to keep teams honest, and they were really worried about the option a lot of times. But a lot of times we were running zone, power, counter, belly, just conventional run schemes that every team in the NFL and most teams in college football utilize. We were far more conventional than people realized at Army, and a lot of those concepts and schemes we'll be doing here, and it suits our personnel.
Yeah, I guess we hit on defense a little bit earlier. What kind of package are you what's going to be the base on that side of the ball with your personnel and stuff?
Big change there. We've got some depth on the defensive line, and we have 3, 4 even linebackers we feel good about. So we're, Meade County for a long time has been an odd front with 3 down linemen. We're gonna be a traditional even front with 4 down linemen. So there's some nuances and changes there that with how you fit blocks and do different things, particularly a defensive end. That's been a learning curve for our players because it's just different than what they've always done. An even front versus an odd front, 2 different philosophies. So we're going to play to our strengths with an even front and have 3 linebackers in the game. We'll be a traditional 4-3 defense with 2 high safeties, and that's kind of what suits our personnel and takes some learning when you're changing a scheme like that the kids have done when they were classic odd front, all 3 years. There's been a learning curve there, but we're getting better, and we've done a good job against the run and in camp practice and the scrimmage, and we're going to get tested tomorrow night because Barren County's known for running the football really, really well. And you face a 6A football team that won 10 games from a year ago. They have an identity, and that's really going to challenge us tomorrow night and really help us see where we're at on defense.
Yeah. 'Cause what kind of offense are they running now?
They're wing T.
They're still running the wing T.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember they used to, but everybody's switched concepts from time to time, so they're still running the wing T.
They got some big linemen, big, powerful fullback, and they wear teams down. And you look at, they won 10 games last year with a lot of low-scoring games. So that they run the ball well, they control the clock, and they play good defense, and they're very well coached. Coach Myers has done an unbelievable job at making them a proven winner, and so it'll be a good test for us.
Yeah, and the one facet of the game that a lot of times gets overlooked in the grand scheme of things, obviously not with you all, but from just a general fan, is your special teams. And Lee County's had a good kicker for the last couple of years. He graduated last year. How are we looking in that facet of the game?
So it was looking very rough at kicker and punter until about June, when Mitchell Staples and Gabe Lang decided to come out, and they're both soccer background. Mitchell's still playing soccer, and Mitchell has a very talented leg. And the opening kickoff against Apollo, he kicked it about halfway into the end zone. So,
oh wow,
he's got a powerful leg, and he's figuring out how to kick a football. But his natural accuracy, being brand new to kicking a football, is very impressive, and he's got natural talent as a kicker. And Gabe has been doing a good job punting, and Mitchell's starting to figure out punting. But we got 2 kids with strong legs that we're very fortunate to have.
Yeah, because I'm sure until that came about, that's a part of the game that can absolutely kill you, regardless of how good you do on the offense and defense. So that's great to hear. And I guess one of the last things we'll touch on, since the season's getting ready to kick off, is lot of change going on, but also a huge change in district for the Green Wave this year, coming out of that Louisville district. How's that all looking? I'm sure you didn't mind that you found out you didn't have to go to Manual and St. X on the regular.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to play St. X, though, just the history.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we got Central Hardin, Davies County, and South Warren. Central Hardin's got a lot of size and ability, and they got a new head coach who's a proven winner. We don't play Central Hardin until week 9, the second to last game of the year. So I fully expect by week 9 they're going to be rolling. They've got 3,000-something kids in that school and a good coach. I would not be shocked if Central Hardin's not really, really good by the end of the season and in the coming years. But South Warren is a very, very good program who's really been at the top of 5A for a while now, and they're making the jump to 6A this year. So that's a very good opponent in our district. And then, Meade's kind of had some history the last few years with Davies County, but yeah, we're excited about the new district and new opponents, and you just never know. Sometimes when you look at a schedule, you think you got a better schedule than you end up having. Sometimes you look at a schedule and you think it's really hard, and then people are having a down year or whatever. So it's really hard to predict. There's teams on our schedule that have been really, really good for the last few years, and then last year we're right around 500. So, you don't know, are you going to get the 500 Bullet East, or are you going to get the state champion Bullet East from 2 years ago? I wouldn't be shocked if Bullet East did really, really good this year. And South Oldham has had a lot of success in recent years, who we opened with. Taylor County 5A school we're playing week 3's had a lot of recent success. Owensboro Catholic's been a powerhouse for a long time that we've got. So I think looking at it, I think we have a sneaky hard schedule, and it's kind of unpredictable. Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of those teams aren't reloaded. And so we'll see, but we're excited.
Yeah, and if any of the fans out there want to come out and watch the game tomorrow night, what time is that the scrimmage going to kick off?
Kickoff's at 7:30, and there'll be season passes being sold there that you can pick up there. And Barren County's bringing their whole roster, so we'll do varsity in the first half, JV younger guys in the second half, and then we'll get the freshmen some work at the end.
Oh, nice. So they can see everything we're going to have this season, plus the future too. Be a great night. So 7:30 out here.
Yes, sir.
And I would urge people, if you are coming out with all the construction going on, the parking's a whole lot different, especially out front. Kind of get here early and find you a spot. But I guess before we wrap up, you brought up season passes, and that's something that we probably ought to talk about. Is it's changed this year policy with here all the high school sports here. It's all went cashless, so a season pass would be a great way the sports program. Plus, you won't have to worry about that whether you got cash or not.
It's definitely a better deal to get the season pass for if you plan on coming to multiple games than the new Go Fan that is going to be a little bit more expensive than usual. And then all the season pass money goes directly to football, and the gate profit goes to the school. So we really try to utilize and maximize our season pass sales, and really helps the program.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to get one, they'll be available tomorrow night.
Yeah, we've got them. They'll be at the scrimmage. They'll be at the first home game as well. They'll be at the first freshman game as well. The ability to get them there as well. And then we have a digital form of payment now too, where you can get them through PayPal and Venmo, and all that's posted on the MCHS football Facebook page and my personal page. With that digital form of payment is an option this year, and people who choose that option can pick them up at the scrimmage or the first game.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it. Glad to have you on board and excited for the season coming up. And thank you for doing the show with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And for Green Wave Nation, get out here tomorrow night, support the Green Wave and the scrimmage. They'll be kicking off the season next week, and stay tuned for the next episode.